Here I am back in my Chicago project, and I've changed my mind. I want to rename this project. So I'm going to back out, go back to projects, and over here I noticed that there's this little icon with the circle with the three dots in it. So if I click on that, I can rename this, and I'm going to call this My Summer 2018. Alright, that's what I want to call this project. And part of my summer 2018 was my trip to Chicago. So now that I have my project open, keep in mind, under Project Media, I can only have one project at a time open. Okay, I can't have multiple projects, just one at a time. Okay, so now I want to start adding media to my timeline. And it's actually pretty easy. I can just click on this clip and drag it down and drop it in my timeline. Okay, I'm going to undo that by pressing Command Z on my keyboard. Okay, so again, you just click on a clip and you can see the yellow highlighting all the way around it. It means that clip is selected, and you can drag it and drop it into the timeline. Okay, if I change my mind, if I want to remove a clip from the timeline, okay, I just make sure it's selected, which it is because I see the yellow line, and if I hit the delete key on my keyboard, it will remove it. Now, notice the delete key didn't delete the video clip from iMovie. It just removed it from my timeline. It's actually pretty difficult to remove video once it's imported in iMovie, and we'll talk about that later. But again, if I want to import, I just click and I drop. Okay. Now, I want to talk about shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts will cut down your editing time and save you a lot of time once you get comfortable using them. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my timeline and I'm going to remove this clip. Alright, so the first keyboard shortcut, it's not really a shortcut, it's just an option to play your video. I have it selected. I can come over here and I can hit the play key. Alright, but just that time moving back and forth takes a lot of time, so I'm just going to use the space bar. The space bar will allow you to play and stop your video. Now, let's say I don't want this entire 17-second clip. Okay? With the entire thing selected, what I can do is I can drag the edges and I can pick just a section of it. Okay? And then I can either drag and drop this in, okay, or with that selection made, I can just hit the letter E on my keyboard. And E stands for end. It'll drop the video into the end of your project. Now, since I didn't have anything in my timeline, it just dropped it right in there at the beginning. But again, if I come over here, alright, let's say there's only a certain section that I want, and then I hit E, okay, I now have two clips in my project. Okay, so I'm going to lasso them. Notice I can command click to select both of them, or I can lasso, and I'm just going to hit delete to remove both of them from my project. Alright, so the spacebar allows you to play and stop. I want to talk about the next keyboard shortcut key in iMovie, and that is the I and the O key. If you hold up your index finger and your middle finger on your right hand, those two fingers fit nicely on the I and the O key of your keyboard. Okay, so while I'm playing my video, if I want to mark an end point, I just hit the letter I. Then I let my video play, and then I hit the O key for my out point. Alright, and I've made a selection. Now if I want to put that into my timeline, I just hit E. Alright, coming over here to my next video, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to mark an in point and an out point. And then I'm going to hit the E key to drop it into my timeline. There it is. Now, looking at my timeline, there's similar to my media bin, I can change the view. And again, I have this little slider over here, which allows me to just zoom out. Okay, so let's say I want to see the whole project. I can change how closely zoomed in I am. Right now I'm zoomed all the way in. And let's say I want to back up a little bit and see my entire timeline. I can do that with that slider. If I click on this settings button, there's a couple things here. Clip size I can change just like in my media bin. Alright, so I can make my clips look really, really big, or I can make them look really, really small. Okay, this is all just a matter of preference. I can also show my waveforms, or I can turn my waveforms off if I don't want to see them. Okay, so those are the only two we're going to look at right now. We'll look at these other options in a little bit. Okay, so that is how you add media to your timeline and start building your project. And one last thing I want to point out, up here in my media bin, on my media clips, I have these orange lines. And that just tells me what portions of those video clips are in my timeline. Okay, once my media bin gets full, I get 10, 20, 30 clips of video in here, and I want to quickly look and see which ones are already in my project. I can easily tell looking at that orange line, and I can see what parts of what videos are important. Stay tuned for the next video as we start looking at events and media organization.